Welcome to the Dan Stevens Show. Before I get into today's topic regarding my accent, I want to be very, very clear, and that's why I'm speaking like this. This sounds kind of weird to me, opening my mouth up and speaking a bit clearer, but it's something that I'm trying to work on so I can appeal to a wider audience and perhaps appeal to the algorithm a little bit more. I noticed in the last few episodes I was maybe just speaking a little bit quickly. In my Dublin vernacular, it can be hard to understand, and I think there is a way of speaking very clearly but also maintaining the Dublin accent. Two people that I've been listening to lately are Adrian Kennedy, who has been a radio presenter and now a podcaster for the past, 30 or 40 years. I used to listen to him growing up. Also, Niall Boylan, also now a podcaster, ex-radio presenter. Maybe is still on the radio, I'm not sure. They bring on the most interesting people onto their show and they talk about whatever they want. I like them because of that. It's almost Jerry Springer-esque to me listening to those two guys, but I noticed that they speak very clearly while maintaining their accent, so I'm trying to consciously do that. I hope it doesn't sound weird. Just let me be very, very clear, please. Alright, so it's the little things, isn't it? If you can make little improvements, and me listening back to the last few episodes, I was kind of like, I wonder if I was from America or the UK or Brazil or somewhere where English is not their first language, would they be able to understand this? And if I'm trying to appeal to a global audience, then I would like them to be able to understand me. If not psychologically, then at least linguistically. On today's episode, the psychology of cures. The psychology of cures. Cures. This came about from seeing a massive queue outside a shop called Morso today. It's a new chicken sandwich shop on Drury Street. They do other stuff as well, but mainly a chicken parmigiana sandwich. Now, the last time I saw a chicken parmigiana was in Australia. They're very popular there. It's a popular dish. From what I remember, it's just a massive chicken schnitzel covered in cheese and tomato sauce. Not in that order. Tomato sauce and then cheese. Very tasty morsel. Now they're putting it in a sandwich on Drury Street. How far we've come. I saw a queue of about, and I'm not the type of person to exaggerate. There was at least 1 million people in this queue. No. I'd say probably 70. But this is at 12 o'clock. And I think now people take their lunch breaks at maybe 12 o'clock. Up to 2 o'clock. It's kind of flexible now with lunch breaks, I believe. I don't know. I've never worked in an Irish corporate setting. Or an office setting. Or even in I don't know, anywhere where people take their breaks at a certain time. So there was a big queue and we thought there might be a queue. The only previous queues that I'd seen that were even crazier than this queue was the opening of Krispy Kreme, 26th of September 2018 in Blanchardstown, in my hometown. And believe it or not, that was my 30th birthday. What a gift. I didn't go. I was anti that queue as well. That's anti for the Americans. I'm never in the queue. And when I saw that queue today, I was immediately saying to my friend Quinner, we're food connoisseurs, you see. We go to the nice food places. Immediately I turned to him and said, oh my God, how could you do that? How could you do that with your time? Just stand there. Why not just go somewhere else? Like, when you compare this to the Blanchardstown Krispy Kreme situation, like, Blanchardstown got Ireland's first ever Krispy Kreme donuts. And I believe this was the first massive queuing scenario in Ireland. This is when it all started. And I think it's because it's a massive American chain that we've seen in the movies and that we never thought possible coming to Blanchardstown. Plus, the food around Blanchardstown is absolutely shite in general. So I could kind of understand the mania at the time. But with this one, with more so, with the chicken parmigiana sandwiches, Drury Street is a bustling place for business now. Food, drink, there's clothes shops. It's really going well at the moment, and there's a lot of selections there for food. There's a lot of choice. That's why it makes it extra unacceptable to stand in a queue. And it wasn't moving fast. Like, there's another sandwich shop called Carved around Grand Canal Dock, and I believe there's one now in Balls Bridge as well. And there's a queue there every day from 12 all the way till about 1:45, but it moves. They have a system. It's like one does the bread, the other one does the fillings, the other one packages it, and then there's one at the till. There's like 4 people. There's a chain of command. But I looked inside more so today and there was none of that. It was kind of, they were faffing around, kind of just like a regular sort of couple of people there. Someone making the sandwiches in the back. There wasn't a system. I hope my language is sounding clear here and you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying talking about it. Now that was weird. I went too weird there. See, I'm gonna learn. When I listen back to this, I'm gonna learn now if I need to peel back, if I need to speed up, what I need to do, if I'm opening my mouth too much. But I've never heard that complaint made. I've heard complaints about mumbling directed at me actually years ago, but I've never heard a complaint about somebody that opens their mouth up too much. So I don't think we have an issue here. So these people are queuing. It's 60 to 100 people, I would say, queuing all the way down Drury Street, and it's not moving fast. Just no way I could do it. I wouldn't even think of doing it. I think there was the old Chick-fil-A queues in Lisburn a few years ago as well in Northern Ireland. Again, big American chain coming to Ireland. For some reason we love that. There was other ones like Penny's when it opened back up after COVID. I think that was a big one. But for me, the two that I have in my mind is these ones. So more so on Drury Street that I saw today, that's fresh in my mind, and Krispy Kreme 2018. And I'm looking at this queue and I can hear people. I took a little video of it. I'm actually going to put it up for you here. I will put the video up for you. I haven't been putting up much video and pictures and stuff lately on the podcast, but when I do say I will, it's there. If you're watching, you'll see it. Anyone who's listening, it's a shop with a big queue outside it, okay? The first instinct for me and for Quinner was to make fun of these people queuing. That's the first instinct. It's like, how could you do that? Oh my God. Idiots. And people walking by, I can hear them talking to each other, slagging off the people in the queue as well. So we went somewhere else. We went to Handsome Burger, which is a delicious burger place just around the corner. It was empty. And we had a lovely meal, and we said we'll go back there in a week or so when it all calms down. And we started talking about the psychology of queuing. In Ireland in particular, it probably happens everywhere. But we can only speak to what we know. So he was saying that it's a sheep mentality, basically. We agreed that it was a sheep mentality. And then I said, but what about maybe they're just more resilient and more patient than the people walking by? Because we wanted that sandwich. And we're not going to get it, but they are. And they value the time that they're waiting for that sandwich. Do they want it more? What is it? So we pondered over that for a bit, and then eventually I came home, I did a bit of research into it, and I've gathered a few points here about the psychology behind it. So basically there's two types there's two personality types and consumer behaviours when it comes to this queuing lark. You have the maximizers, they're the ones in the queue and they chase the peak experience. And you have the satisficers. I've never heard that word before. I don't know if it's real. It's like satisfiers except with a C in it. They're the onlookers who prioritise efficiency and logic. So let's look into it. Here's the psychological breakdown of both groups and the friction between them. Because it does feel like friction when they're queuing and people are moving past and kind of making fun of them. It is like an us and them situation, I believe. Psychology of the queuers. The queuers. FOMO. Fear of missing out. Social media creates anxiety about being left out of a cultural moment. Queuing ensures they are part of the in-group that experiences it first. Then we have the scarcity principle. Humans automatically place a higher value on things they perceive as rare, limited, or difficult to obtain. The long line itself becomes proof that the sandwich is valuable. That really gets me going. That's so interesting. I've heard rumours that they do this outside nightclubs in big cities. That there's people that actually work to keep the queue there to make it look more desirable. So they'll purposely have a long queue, and it makes sense. Social proof. When people are unsure how to act, they look to others. A massive queue signals to the brain, everyone else wants this, so I should want it too. Identity signalling. For these consumers, the wait is not just about food. It's about status, trendiness, and being an early adopter who can post the experience online. I think that's to a lesser extent. I'd say that's just more for like influencers and stuff, but still there was people recording in the queue as well. And last of all, effort justification. A psychological phenomenon where people value a reward much more if they had to suffer or work hard to get it. The sandwich actually tastes better to them because they waited an hour. All very valid points, I would say, and none of these I could argue with. Now let's look into the psychology of the onlookers. The sneerers, the jeerers, the onlookers, the slagger offers. Their psychology. Delayed gratification. These individuals possess high impulse control. They can resist the immediate urge to join the trend because they know the reward, i.e. the sandwich, will be identical and easier to get later. This is exactly how I think about it. This is how I felt with Krispy Kreme. This is how I felt with Morso as well. Satisficing behaviour. Instead of hunting for the absolute best or newest thing at any cost, they look for choices that are good enough for their current time and energy constraints. Hyper-rationality. They calculate the opportunity cost. They view an hour of life as worth far more than the marginal joy of eating a trending sandwich a few days early. That for me wouldn't be the case. I just think I'll get it in a few days. I can eat something else around here. Anyway, let's keep going. Reactance to hype. Some onlookers experience psychological reactance. When marketing or crowds tell them what to care about, they naturally rebel to assert their independent thinking. That is me 100%. But it is interesting because the whole reason that we went there was because he saw it Well, Quinner doesn't have Instagram, but his friend in work saw it and showed it to him, and he's like, "Oh, sandwich." Then he said it to me, and I was like, "Oh, sandwich." And then we go to get the sandwich. There's a queue, and that immediately, there was no question about queuing for either of us. It was no. In fact, I started recording them and mocking them. Obviously not out loud, and I could hear people. I was like, "Oh my god, imagine queuing like that." You hear the little whispers, and the people in the queue almost look ashamed, but not really. Like, they're gonna be the ones laughing when they're eating the big sandwich. And we did see a few people walking back past us with the sandwich, and it did look incredible. The next question was, why the onlookers laugh at the queuers? Defensive devaluation. If the onlookers secretly want the sandwich but refuse to wait, laughing acts as a coping mechanism. They mock the line to convince themselves that missing out is actually the superior, smarter choice. How dare you? How dare you, Google? Tribal outgrouping. Laughing creates a psychological boundary. It separates the rational, sensible people, them, from the sheep following a trend, the queuers, boosting the onlookers' own self-esteem. So there we go. I couldn't have put it better myself. I will be going back to Morso, and I look forward to it. It looks like a delicious sandwich. It's Morso. Check it out. I would also recommend Carved. They do a different weekly sandwich. I remember going there when I worked in that area around 2021 or so, 2022, in the Grand Canal area, and it wasn't very busy at all. And then eventually it gathered momentum, and now it's packed every day. They're doing great, and it's great because they just care. There's love in the sandwiches. There really is, and you can tell. Also, shout out to Handsome Burger, where we went today. It was my first time eating there. Absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed it. And I would check that out as well. That's just around Stephen's Green area. There you go. Which one are you? Are you a queuer? Are you an onlooker? I'm definitely an onlooker, but I can understand now better the mindset of the queuer. I hope my accent has been bearable. Just trying to open my mouth a bit more, express myself a bit more. I think it's like the third step of trying to improve my vernacular, my accent, and how clearly I'm speaking. Pre-2011, I went through a phase in my life where, now this would just happen when I got drunk, but I mean, that's when I would socialise and talk to people, where I'd have a few points and I would just mumble. I was doing this. Then when I got to Australia, I learned the hard way that if you do not have the ability to communicate and speak English clearly, you will not be able to get a job, and you will not be able to chat up women. So for a good while I wasn't able to do either of those things. Then I started speaking more clearly, got a job, and you know the rest. Eventually got laid. Then eventually got laid off. So I'm not going to ramble on. We're going to keep this one short and sweet, the weekly solo episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is the Dan Stevens Show. I'll be back again on Tuesday with a guest, hopefully. By the way, please follow on Spotify. Please rate 5 stars. YouTube, like, subscribe, share. Please donate in the Buy Me a Coffee link in the episode description too. That would be great. Thank you very much. See you on the next one. All the best.